Hello, I am Dale Pasco, and you've made it to the channel that invites all the girlies to the soft side of womanhood. I love talking about all things womanhood, femininity, faith, and everything else in between. Today, I'm going to share practical ways, spiritual ways, and even some materialistic things that I have added to make my life more romantic. These are some things that you can add. You don't have to do it all. It looks different for everybody. There may be some similarities, but know that it first starts with the inward work. Make sure you go ahead and press subscribe. Look forward to upcoming videos every Tuesday and every Thursday. Let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, ladies, I've gone ahead and created a list of some different ways that I believe life can be romanticized. But like I mentioned, I want to start with things that require internal work first, because a lot of times when we think about romanticizing life, we think about getting your hair and your nails done, having cute aesthetics around the home, eating the beautiful food and all of that. None of that is wrong. It can all work for whoever likes those things. But let's talk about some things that you should do that will really help you to wake up and enjoy your life. One of the first things I want to mention is denying the need to compare yourself to anyone else. It shouldn't be easy, but I know it's easy for some people to look at the lives of other people and to say, dang, I wish I was living this life. Social media has made that something that is easier in this time than it has ever been in any other time of living. You have to be really intentional to not see where you are and compare it to where someone else is. It shouldn't be easy to compare, but I know that some people really do have a tough time comparing themselves to other people. That's not something that I have dealt with heavily. Like, I've had moments where I'm like, dang. But then I always catch myself like, I'm living my life. I'm so consumed with my life that I'm really not focusing on what I may be lacking in comparison to someone else. I enjoy my life. And it takes work to enjoy your life. You have to see the beauty of what God has allowed you to go through, the way He's designed you, the things that you get to do, the people you are connected to, your family, even just your personal attributes and your traits and your abilities, your qualities, your characteristics. You have to see the beauty in that. But if you don't see the beauty in you, you're going to look for it in other places, which is going to cause you to compare yourself, unfortunately. Even if you do, for instance, compare yourself to someone else and you try to do all of their steps to get the life that they have, it's possible that your life will still end up another type of way. So I always share that I can provide a playbook to other people of things I've done to get to certain places or get said results. However, I can't give you a blueprint, because a blueprint means that you're going to get specifically what I have and that design. I don't want anybody to try to aspire to have my life, but I can tell you this is what I do to have a sound mind. This is what I do to take care of my body. This is what I do to make sure my hair doesn't get dry and brittle. This is what I do to make sure my relationship with the Lord is continuing to grow in intimacy. You can take those things and grow intimacy with the Lord, but don't expect it to look like my intimacy. Grow your intimacy and be grateful for the beauty in what God allows to be cultivated in your life. So that's one way to begin romanticizing your life. No more comparison. The next thing that I believe really helps a life to be romanticized is having inward peace. Inward peace. When you live a life that just feels so full of chaos and turmoil, you're either going to be addicted to that turmoil and continue to try to find ways to sabotage your life, sabotage others' lives, be messy, be cantankerous, always gossiping. But when you come to a place where you want life to be enjoyable and you want it to feel like a breath of fresh air every time you open your eyes, and you want to look forward to getting up in the morning, you do whatever is necessary to protect the peace in your life. Sorry, my daughter called, and let me remember where I was. I was at inward peace. So you'll make sure you do whatever's necessary to make sure your peace is not disrupted. I came to a place where I had to be willing to make some uncomfortable decisions in order to live a comfortable life. And that didn't start with changing my clothes or the people I hung around. I had to start internally first. I was okay with denying myself of certain pleasures for a time being in order to establish certain disciplines so that in the long run, I would be able to enjoy those pleasures that I had to put off for a moment. I was okay with saying, listen, I need a sleep schedule and I need a specific time to wake up in the morning. I didn't realize that a lack of a sleeping schedule was allowing my life to feel more chaotic. I was really tired when I would wake up in the morning. I would get headaches at night because I would just be up on my phone, or I would be up all night just working. And I didn't realize I wasn't giving my body any time to be rejuvenated. So simply making that change allowed me to invite peace into my life in a way that I never even realized I needed. And that peace from creating a bedtime and wake up schedule and routine then gave me more energy to get to the gym, then gave me more energy to want to go grocery shopping and pick out the food that I like. That gave me more energy to read more books in my alone time. It all works together. You don't realize how little things like this, just by being able to do and enjoy what you love and saying no to things that really don't serve you any purpose, really does add, it allows peace to remain sustained in your life. You want to do what's necessary to live a peaceful life, because that is romantic alone, right? When we think of romanticizing our lives, let's not think of just in a way of being in a relationship, but how can you make your life more enjoyable and more satisfactory to your standard? What do you love? What do you enjoy? And what do you need in order to wake up every day and say, dang, I love the fact that I get to wake up today? I remember there was a time I did not want to wake up. I was pissed. I would literally talk to God and be like, God, why did you wake me up today? Why did you allow me to open my eyes? And I would be livid. So you want to begin with doing the inward work so that you're able to put the outward things in place. And we'll talk about some of those things too, because I know some women really have a tough time figuring out how to create a life that they really do enjoy with the materialistic things and practices. So another thing that helps you to romanticize your life is keeping your space clean. How does that have to do with internal work? Well, if you see someone who is always in a cluttered space, or they're hoarding, or their space is always dirty, unkept, it's just funky, smelly, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's possible their mind is the same way. When you do the work on your mind to make sure you're getting those toxic thoughts out and you're thinking on things that are peaceful, that are praiseworthy, that are life-giving, you will begin to crave a space that looks like the mind that you have. On the flip side, when you find that your space being messy is messing with your mind, and you say, listen, I'm cleaning this up, I'm cleaning up my counters, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you'll find that your mind is more at ease. And truth of the matter is, you were only able to clean that space up because your mind was saying, listen, here, I need you to clean this junk out. So it works together. You may be asking, okay, how do I clean my mind out? How do I allow my mind to be a clean space so that my outward space can be clean? One thing I encourage a lot of women to do a brain dump. So it may be possible before you go to sleep at night that you have a journal and you just write out whatever comes to your mind. I remember my spiritual father had us sit, I think it was like 15 or 30 minutes. I don't know, I enjoyed it though, but we would sit in silence for, I'll say 15 minutes. And we couldn't listen to any music. We just had to sit there with a pen and a pad and write down whatever came to our mind, right? And this allowed us to see what was sitting in our soul, what was taking up space in our hearts and in our mind. So if you thought about, a pink carpet, then you would write pink carpet. If you thought about being abused, you would write abuse. If you thought about going to the mall, you would write going to the mall. If you thought about your 5-year plan, you would write out your 5-year plan. But this began to get your thoughts out and create space for you to think on the right things and to also see what was really going on within your soul. One way of creating a life that is more romanticized is having a space that looks like your mind, but making sure your mind is clear in your spaces as well. This allows you to get a lot more done, to actually want to wake up because you are looking forward to a cute space, and to decorate. It's so much that just goes into having a space that is functional, that you're able to actually enjoy and to sleep in. You know when you go to sleep at night and it's like your sheets are clean, your room's clean, the floor's been vacuumed. It's just like that sleep is so much better. It's so much sweeter. Another way to romanticize your life is to be grateful for what you have. When you choose to stop using your mouth to complain and instead give thanks, everything changes. Your world begins to form to what you are grateful for. The more you give thanks for a thing, the greater that thing works for you. Even if it's a person, when I give thanks for my husband, it's just like the Lord just pushes him to be even sweeter, even more loving, even more kinder, even more gentler with me. When he gives thanks for me, it's like it pushes me to just want to really cater to his needs, to be more respectful, to be more honorable, to be more hands-on with him, touchy-feely. Like, it just works. And so you want to apply that not only to your marriage or your relationships or anything like that, but life in general. It's who my friends are, you know, where I go to church, where I spend time, the things that I get to do. Life just works better. And that's another thing I stopped doing. I stopped saying that I have to go to the gym. I have to eat clean. I have to cater to my husband. I have to raise my daughter. I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. No, I get to do these things, and it's an honor that I get to. And because I get to, I look for the beauty in that, and I look forward to doing it every single day. To make time for what matters. So I shared a video last week about doing the things you love and quitting everything else. I'm not going to get into all of it. You can go back and play that video, but really make time for what matters. When you do what matters to you, what you were designed for, what is required of you, you're able to say no to the things that don't serve any of those things. Again, this allows you to live a life that's peace. You're not in turmoil. You look forward to getting up. You look forward to the things that you are doing and get to do because you're doing what you were designed to do. You don't want to do anything that doesn't work with who God created you to be. Investing in yourself. This is an inward job because you don't invest in what you don't see worthy of investing into. You don't make deposits into something that you don't believe you'll ever get a withdrawal out of. So invest in yourself. What does that look like? Does that look like making sure my life is peaceful? Does that look like making sure I'm spending time with people I love? Does that look like going on trips when I want to just get away for a moment? Does it look like sitting down for 40 minutes a day and just sitting in silence and having nothing going on around me so that I can be at a place of rest and ease? But when you don't feel like you're worth the investment, you will live a hustle and bustle life. You won't speak life into yourself. You won't affirm yourself. You will not take the time to take a shower, to do your hair, to do your makeup if you like doing makeup, to invest in clothing that represents where you are or where you're going. You won't take the time to give your best self to your family or to the world. You won't let other people love you. You want to make sure that you invest in you, because if you don't invest in you, you can't invest in anyone else. And one of the greatest things of life and the most joyful things of life is being able to pour into other people. And if you don't pour into them, you can't expect that you're going to reap a harvest of other people pouring into you. So you really want to make sure you do the necessary work to make sure you see that you are worthy of being invested into. And the last thing that I would like to mention when it comes to romanticizing your life inwardly, this is something that affects your whole life, loving Jesus and allowing him to love you. For me, that is the biggest thing that has changed my life and allowed it to become more romanticized. It doesn't get any more romantic than that. That is the greatest love story, and I'm grateful that he has allowed me to partake in that story. Know that you had someone who died for you so that you could live today. So allowing myself to accept Jesus made all of this really make sense. Let's talk about some external ways that you can begin to create a life that you actually love and enjoy. Explore and travel. We all have to do this on what our budget is allowing at the time being. So you may be saying, like, I really want to travel more, but I don't have the funds to go to Bali or Bora Bora or anything like that. That's fine. So go where you can go. Find some flights that aren't expensive. Search for the ones that are cheap and go where your budget is currently allowing. Creating like spa days at home. Since I was in the, I think, 5th or 6th grade, I would literally have spa days every single Tuesday, doing my hair, doing a facial, exfoliating, all of that. Like, that's just something I began when I was little, and I still do it to this day. Creating a cute little bubble bath, adding things to the water, putting a candle on or a few candles, some soft spa music, and just going all out for you. Going to Dollar Tree possibly and finding like little rose petals in a bag and throwing them around your floor, on your bed, in your bath water, whatever, and just make it real cute. Spray something cute in the house, and there's a spa day. Another thing I do that just makes me feel like real good about life is getting massages every 2 weeks. Let me tell y'all, that's a game changer in itself. It's enjoyable. It's nothing like getting a massage in a real cute, quaint place and leaving knowing that you just took care of yourself. And I really recommend that women just start buying themselves flowers. I know everybody doesn't like flowers like that, so if you don't like them, then find something else that you enjoy. It always makes the space look more girly, more feminine, more soft, and more inviting. And I just love seeing like colorful, you know, little petals behind me. The thing I do is getting cute to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym just to go to the gym. Like, I make it a whole experience. Take a shower, do a whole hygiene routine, put cute clothes on, you know, matching socks, cute little shoes with a little jacket, nice and fitted. I know some people say that's too much, but for me, that's just who I am. That's what I like to do, so I do that. I don't feel motivated if I don't look cute when I step in the gym. The workout just doesn't hit the same, so I make sure I look like that chick when I step up in there, okay? It just feels good. Another thing that I just began doing is Pilates. This is hands down probably my favorite thing to do when it comes to taking care of my body. It just makes me feel like bae. It feels good. I like the atmosphere. I love the women that I'm surrounded with, and I don't want that to stop. And it just makes my life feel like, you know, like real girly-ish. So saying affirmations is another internal thing, but also an external thing to really start romanticizing that life and speaking what you want to see. It's so empowering. Like, it makes life just feel, there's nothing that I can't accomplish. Like, there's no type of person that I can't connect with. There's nothing that God can't do. There's nothing that can hinder me from showing up in all of me. Like, in all of my dopeness, goodness, greatness, beauty, nothing. Like, I like being around women who enjoy working out, taking care of themselves, looking good, being productive, intentional with their time. I found that I need to be surrounded with these type of women, and I just like my life to have like an aesthetic, and that even applies to my friendships. But the truth is, birds of a feather flock together, and I like flocking with the ones that really match my cute and my fly and my prissy. Dressing up is another one. Like, just get up, get dressed. If you work from home, dressing up is a game changer. When you look good, you feel really good, and when you feel good, you tend to get more done. I mean, what's more romantic than looking good and just stepping out and showing the world this fine piece of art that God created? Eating pretty dishes. So since I got into this, well, let's start here. When I got married, my husband would always like talk to me about presentation. No, before we got married, we would cook together a lot, and he'd be like, okay, he's heavy on presentation. And so I really learned a lot from him on how to like set up a plate for it to look appetizing, the importance of having different colors on the plate, placement, what should be next to what should touch what, and it just really makes you want to dig into your food but also enjoy it while you are eating it. I have moved very far away from like soul food and stuff like that, even though it tastes really good, but it doesn't feel good in my body. It doesn't feel good when it's coming out of my body. I feel sluggish. I don't get as much rest, and so that just doesn't feel like a romanticized life to me, you know? So I stopped eating it, and I eat things that look good and that I know are actually doing good to me. Okay, so let's finish these off because my camera keeps shutting down on me for some reason. Watch the sunrise or the sunset. The sky is so beautiful, and just taking the time to admire God's creation and really just be in awe of it all, it just does something to you. Like something that I personally have to do every week. Like I go to the bookstore a lot because I love reading. If you know, you know. I love being in there because it's like we're surrounded by books, and it just feels so good. My mom used to take me to the bookstore a lot when I was younger, and it just gives me like a little nostalgic feel. Drinking out of pretty glasses, okay? This is something I just started doing, y'all. Adding edible glitter to my drinks. Like it's just like adding sparkle to every part of life, and I love it. Where am I at? I'm almost done. This is one that I actually really enjoyed. That just makes it really feel like you're living on one of like those 90s movies. Is dancing to a beat in your head when you're home alone, real wild, real crazy, just having fun. There's something so freeing about that. I don't know what it is, but I have days where I literally just get in this mood where I just want to dance, and I'll just dance around to whatever's going on in my head, whatever song has been playing in my head, and I get as crazy as I want, as chill as I want, whatever, but it just feels good. And 9 times out of 10, I usually end up like crying or praying, but it is, I don't know, it just feels like you don't have a care in the world. There's no limitations to your body. Like nobody's telling you how to move. You're not trying to move to any specific beat. You're just enjoying yourself, and you're just in the moment. The last 2 are like keeping candles lit in the house, because why would you not? Like you want it to smell good, or at least using specific room sprays to make your house smell good, putting perfume on yourself, oils and all that stuff, because that's another way to like just make things feel real good, real girly, real romantic. And the last one I have is putting on earrings, like when I'm about to go to sleep. I enjoy just going to sleep and waking up cute. I just wake up looking good. Make sure my brows are put together. I go to sleep with lip gloss on. I wear my chain to sleep. I mean, I just like life to feel fun and girly and posh at all times. To me, that is romanticizing my life outwardly. Inwardly, I like to make sure my heart looks just as good as what people are experiencing on the outside, and they can't experience anything good on the outside if I'm not doing the inside work. Let's share some things below that you do that allow your life to feel more romanticized. Remember, don't compare yourself or your life to anybody else or their life. Enjoy where you are. Know that you get to live. Look forward to waking up, and take steps every single day to create the life that you love waking up to. As always, I am Dale Pasco. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and those notifications. And remember this, there's absolutely nothing mediocre about you. So live life to the fullest, show up, and don't ever downplay who you are.